Hello, KMS. Welcome to the Teach Me tutorial. So you're going to be making a new Scratch project this week, and your animation is going to quiz the user on 5 questions. When you start your code, you'll have a sprite that comes in. It's going to introduce itself, and it's going to use this new block called answer. So you're going to be able to type, say, ask you your name. Your name is Bob. And it's going to say back the answers that you put into it. The code is all found. We're going to go through it each day, but it's going to get really intense. So you're going to want to go onto Google Classroom and check out the cheat sheet. So every day, Monday through Thursday, we'll break down a little portion of the code, and then Friday, we'll share it out on your tech portfolios. So you're going to want to log into your Scratch account. So please visit scratch.mit.edu, log in using your username and password that you created, and you're going to start to create a brand new project. So you're going to hit the button that says create. It does take a second to load, so we'll just wait. But please have this cheat sheet open the whole time because it really does break it through. Yours will be different in numbers, but the structure of it, like going to and gliding and saying, that's all going to be similar. So first you want to get rid of the sprite that's the cat because you probably don't want that. And you could choose another sprite from the library. So I'm just going to see if there's any robots. Awesome. This one, you can see it's kind of animated in the thumbnail, the small picture of it. So I know that there's more than one costume. That might be cool to use in here. We're going to be asking people questions. So you're going to want to think about what would look cool for saying, yes, you got it correct, or saying, oh, I'm sorry, you're incorrect. So perhaps a sprite with multiple costumes would be one way to do that. Some of you are actually getting really good at importing your own costumes or painting or drawing your own. And if you'd like to do that here, you just want to have one sprite and something that has multiple costumes. So under our code, before we write any code for this sprite, we do want to choose a backdrop. So on the right-hand side, by clicking on the stage, you're able to import someplace where this character is. If you think the setting of the story, you're going to be quizzing people down. So anywhere you want to ask questions is fine. I think I had it in front of the school in my demonstration. So pick this one. All right, so I want my character to end up here. So let's think about this logic. When I first start the code, I'll go under events and I'll grab out a green flag. I want it to glide to that location. So I'm going to say glide 1 second and this is where the sprite is. So your numbers will be different here, but it changes wherever you put your sprite. But I want them to come up from the bottom here. So that's why I'm going to say go to here and then glide there. Let's test our code to make sure that this works. Awesome. My character comes in from off screen and goes there. I'm going to look at the rubric to see what I need in this animation. My character should ask the username their name and at least 5 questions. The questions must have specific correct answers. They can't be opinions or facts. Your sprite should move or glide. The background should change at least once. The sprite should be customized, and your sprite's costume should change. Please save this to your Scratch account. So again, when you're working in Scratch, don't title things untitled whatever. You're not going to know what that is. This project's called Teach Me, so let's name it that. And I'll say File and Save now. I have a character that moves to the center of the screen. I'm going to look at my code and see what's next. It says hello, it says what it's going to do, and then it asks me my name. This ask block is the new block that you're learning on this Monday. So the looks is where all the purple blocks are. So you could say hello, nice to meet you. We're going to do a quiz, but I need to know your name. So you can type whatever you want in here, but I'm going to say hello. Nice to I'm going to quiz you. On what? On, we'll say math facts. You can have a quiz on anything that you want. But first, I need to know your name. I'm going to drag this block off because I actually don't need it. So I'm going to run my code. Comes in. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm going to quiz you on math facts. But first, I need to know your name. These are all things that are set. The user's not interacting or control. This will run every single time. You learned last week that there are sensing buttons. We used if the touching was a mouse pointer or perhaps another sprite. And we use this key pressed. So you did that for your game where you move things up, down, left, right. Today, we're going to use this ask what's your name. And it waits. There's this answer. That's similar to when we use a variable, but basically when you use this ask, it creates a variable called answer. So then I can use another block and say, well, that's hello, and then say the person's name. So let me run my code. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm going to quiz you on math facts, but first I need to know your name. What is your name? And then you see this button pops up here. This is automatically generated with this block of code because it's waiting for my answer. So I'm going to type my name. My name is Mrs. Hines. And then it should say, hello, Mrs. Hines. Very cool. This portion works. You could save this. And then I want it to ask the first real question of your quiz. You're going to ask somebody 5 different questions. So how do you ask a question? That's right. You go under sensing. And you can ask them a factual, non-opinionated question. So what's 2 plus 2? Tomorrow, we're going to move on and we're going to show you how to do an if-else statement because they're either going to be correct or incorrect, and there will be different code based on what their answer is. So for today, if you could please save this, you can edit this code however you like. You learned under operators, there's a pick random number, so perhaps it floats to a random position. You can jazz up your code by using this join. This is very cool. Do you see how these are all separate? I can say, instead of having 2 separate things here, I can drag this answer in this block. So I could have it say hello, and then their name all in one say block. So then I wouldn't need this one. I could throw it away, put it back in here. So you could combine these 2 if you would like as well. And you might also have additional code. Let me just save this. You might have something that says change costume. So I have different ones. It looks like he's moving and then maybe he faces forward. So maybe he starts off, for me, looking like Robot B. And then he glides in and then maybe he changes his costume to Robot D. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, he turned around. The wrong one. So we actually want this to be not D, but B. So that's where it's probably helpful to have things like, so B to A, we'll say. All right, B to A. So that's why it's helpful to run your code just to see if it's exactly how you want. Don't wait until the end. Do it bit by bit, and then you can add things in. This seems to be working really well. So I'm going to save it. And I'm good for today. Please make sure that you go onto Google Classroom and fill out any of the Google Forms listed under today's assignment. All right, guys, I can't wait to see your newest animation called Teach Me. Make sure that you have it saved. And once you share it out, I can view it on my Scratch page as well. Please email me if you have any questions, and happy Monday.